side brains. I knew I wouldn't forget you, and so I went and let you blow my mind. You're my mind, your sweet moonbeam, the smell of you in every single dream I dream. I knew when we collided, you're the one I had decided who's one of my kind. Hey, soul sister, ain't that Philippine Antics on the radio? Stereo, the way you move ain't fair, you know. Hey, soul sister, I don't wanna miss a single thing you do tonight. Hey, 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 hey. Just in time, I'm so glad you have a one-track mind like me. You gave my life direction, a game show love connection we can't deny. I'm so obsessed, my heart is bound to beat right out of my untrimmed chest, and I'm always gonna wanna blow your mind. Hey, soul sister, ain't that Philippine Antics on the radio? Stereo, the way you move ain't fair, you know. Hey, soul sister, I don't wanna miss a single thing you do tonight. The way you can cut a rug, watch it.
Good morning, guys. Hey, what's up? What's up? Good morning. Looks like MB was in the house first. What's going on, Tony? All right, guys, what's going on? Rest in peace, little buddy. Talking about George, like literally resting in peace. This microphone. Trying to figure out what to do. All right, audio check, sound check, sound check. Guys, good morning and welcome to Philippine Antics live stream, along with Reliable Expatainment, which is our other channel. So basically, it's this Expat entertainment, whether it's talking about the news and everything. So basically, it's the same channel, but we're going to be dropping other stuff on that channel too. So it used to be our pet channel. So, but today, our recaps are usually what we do on Saturdays. And today we will be discussing, like, rehashing Big Man in the Philippines. He's dropped a few videos. Q has stayed silent. David is still missing. And I have a clip that I caught off of Facebook yesterday of not only an age gap relationship, but I call it an age canon relation, or canyon. I said canon, but canyon. Meaning it's not a little bit on some of the guys' relationships, and he's holding down like 8 girlfriends. So you don't want to miss that video, guys. So gotta love the food vendor. Some of them really get moving early AM. So that's what we'll be covering today. If you guys aren't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. 100%, about 60% of you guys are not subscribed. We do appreciate the regulars that come back through and watch. I think they said we had 25,000 regulars that have come through and watched the channel in the last month. And be sure to be a part of Philippine Antics, and you need to and should sign up for our membership. Lots of extra videos and help on that. That could be in the future where we drop a lot of the stuff dealing like with some of the expat help and stuff, besides being at our live streams. So I will go through this and then get into it as we're letting the room build up. So stick around, guys. Hang around, grab your beer, grab your coffee, and let's see what's going on. So, and good morning, MB. Good morning, Tom Thompson. Hey, good morning, Smile and Be Happy. Looks like we're going to go through that same thing with me getting all itchy. Always me. Good morning. And of course, Tony. And we have Slick Rick A from San Francisco. Is that AI generated? Yes. So, yeah. It depends on what you're talking about. So it was not 100% AI'd. So it still takes work to put that stuff together. So if you're asking, did we have a live band that sat around and played that? The answer is no. Did we ask them to create that song and then they created it? The answer is no. But it is a software. We have several of them that we use, and we feed it lyrics, the type of music, the like the charts and gaps that we want used at pitches and what type of instruments and everything. So, um, so somewhat yes, but there's no live band here now. Yeah, I know there's several out there, and I know Michael Music to Motion had originally shown us one of those softwares, and you can just go in and say, "Hey, create me a song," and then it just throws it out there. So somewhat, but no. Let's see what's going on. Haven't seen you in a while. Corner Clubhouse, Kobo, you are early. Yes. Reason beings is we announced in December that George will probably only appear probably once a week, maybe more. You'll see him in videos when we're doing our outings and stuff, but we've told you guys before that it's just not YouTube that we do, and he's been trying to fit in the schedule for the past year, and he's just getting no sleep. So that's what he's doing now. So the only reason I waited till 9 or 10 o'clock was because he was like waking up literally at the last moment. So him being tired on air was partially a real thing. The other part is, like you said, he always looks tired. Part of the Asian thing, I guess. So it'll probably be 8 or 9. I'm just doing it early because it's been a long week. So for those, real quick, Ted, good morning. Good morning, beautiful people. One of the debacles that I ran into this week was I went to Angeles City Robinson's Mall to do an MBI check, paid for it. They took the appointment knowing what it was for the amendment of my 13A. It's almost been a year. Can you guys believe? Well, it's been 6 months, 7 months. So I have to apply in the next 60 days. And when I got there, the guy like rushed right up when he see me, and he was like, "Oh, we don't do that anymore here." And I said, "But you guys took the appointment, and we know how systems are broken and everything, right?" And he says, "No, you have to go to Manila." I said, "Yeah, no, that's what Tago and Tago. I'll just be waiting for you guys to come pick me up if I got to take a trip to Manila." And he started laughing, but basically, what it is we're going to attempt to go to San Fernando. There's I think that's a what they call that, a remote location, and so I have to go to an actual office. They need the full scan of the hand, so it's a new machine they have, and so I think it's a little crazy, but we're hoping that the office local has it. So yeah, because if so, we'll have to hire in. There's no way I'll get on a bus and go down there or fly over there because that's more of a hassle. And with my lupus and my ability to not be able to stand very long and all that, that would be almost an impossible. So we'd have to hire in the private driver like we do when we go to the Google events. And that would still cost, I don't know, 5, 10, about $300 to go there twice. And because you have to go back and pick up the NBI clearance. So hopefully we can do it local, be able to go to San Fernando to do it because that is the main office here. So good morning, Jay McGee. Good morning in Atlanta, Georgia. How is the weather out there? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Originally, when we started a few years ago doing almost constant live streams, we used to go at 8. 9 just became a different time. Why? Because even 2 years ago, only so many vloggers were going live. So you always had like the regulars like Sunshine. Paul would only go once or twice a month. Tim K every now and then. Who else used to go live all the time? Geo used to go live. And understand, these are the circle of people that our people are watching, whether it's for good or bad or like a cable station. Then, we kept changing. And one of the biggest things we were changing around was sunshine. So, I wanted to come on before, after, or change days. We've even changed days based on other vloggers. So, um, and that's all. So, if with him and it's just going to be me, at least 2 of the live streams a week, then I might go at 8. So let me know if this works. I think going at 9 or 10 our time still seems to hit more people, because here in another hour, I'll probably double my numbers in the live stream. So I think, yeah, it's too early, too late. Works for some. Good morning, Radar. And also, if you guys become a member, we know there's a difference between subscribing and being a member. Then usually we try to bring some sort of priorities if we can, as far as answering comments in the comment sections. And we do talk to people one-on-one. 1 second. Oh, man, why? Like, I sat here all morning and didn't have any problem. As soon as I get on air, it just feels like somewhere between cat hair and itching again. It must just be I don't know. It's weird. I haven't touched my face all morning. So, hey, Victor, good morning. And thank you, Radar. This is the second impression I've done of Rose Campbell. This is my simping Rose. Look at, hey, what's going on? Because she was wearing all black the other day too. So I thought I would do some simping content for you guys. Hey. No, I'm joking. I just happen to be wearing black, but I was sitting there this morning and I was like, didn't Rose just do a live and she was wearing, it looked to be like a robe, and I thought I had seen she had a dark shirt on, and it looked towards to be the evening. I said, I think she's got her night clothes on. No, this just happens to be one of my it's like a shawl, light jacket, because I have the AC always running, and if I go in and out of the house, my skin burns really quick. Let's see. Sounds good. Calvin made an intro song with AI really good. Huh, I have not seen that. So I'll have to check into that. So we have a lot of music, by the way. We have a whole nother channel that we just drop music on. And it is only AI generated by the instruments. Like, we actually create the lyrics and do all of that. A lot of them just let them create it. So, and then of course the AI voices, and then we pay for our software. We don't use the free versions of the 3 that we use. So, but we try to put a little bit more like into it and stuff. But I have to check that out. So I've been like catching a bunch of his shorts and a few of his other. I have not been able to catch a live stream in a little bit, but I've checked that out. Good morning. Good morning, Timothy. Hey, Max, what is going on? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, SH, thank you. Yeah, it's got like, it was in my head all day yesterday. So we used it in the video where we went out and about the other day, and we went to lunch to pick up, like, George picked up a bunch of different types of rice. There was like this honey rice, and then we went to the pet store and picked up like bulk food for the pets, because we feed a bunch of them outside too. And we use that as part of the going through it. And I was sitting there this morning, and it's like, the reason we don't is a lot of people, when they rewatch, will not sit through any of the intros. So I kind of said, hey, let's cut those out. But I was like, why not build the room up again? We haven't used them in a while. So, Chi, what's going on? Why are you hating on the scammers? Am I? Chi? I'm good with any time, being that's late in the afternoon and early here in California. Yeah, so it's got to be 4 in the afternoon? Because it would be 7 o'clock at night on the East Coast. Yeah, take away 3, so it's 4. 4:13, 4:15. So, Heidi, did you see the SpaceX launch? I catch a lot of things at different hours, and when I wake up, I like just sit there and wake up sometimes with coffee right at the edge of the bed and stuff. And as I'm to understand, it was a manless mission, which sounds like the Philippines right now. And that it broke apart or something. Did I miss any of that? So, uh, yeah, kind of. I've seen all kinds of things. Last time I got a little bit. We're going to be talking about all types of things today, guys. I don't mind you being at Saturday to drop a bunch of topics, ask questions about the Philippines, ask what you're going to ask, because it's Saturday. Saturday somewhat has been a free for all. Usually, we did have a whole thing. Remember, guys, for those that have been with us, it's Spill the Tea Saturday, and usually it was a bunch of topics. I try to keep up in that. And so, um, and that's where we're at. So, yeah, so it's a free for all today. So until I start getting more comments in here, let's start talking about what's been going on. Oh, I started talking about the politics situation, and there's like all kinds of stuff going on, especially with the devastation in California. Our hearts are breaking in regards to that. The amount of loss of life, loss like all the animals and everything that are all over the place. It's said that 50% will not rebuild in Palisades and some of these other areas. They're going to move like different areas like Malibu outside of California, and they will not. And they gave a good reason why. And I started thinking, well, yeah, they got to be hardcore Californians and everything because some of their kids are 5 and 6 years old. It could take 7, 8 years just to get new places up and going again, they said. And this is like building. And they said by then their kids are going to be like 15 years old. They're already being in another school. They don't want to take them out of the school, and they want to start the movement now. Like they want to go where they're going to go now. And so life definitely has changed, and the California will just never be the same again. It is their biggest devastation. They went through everything. They discussed the floods. I seen a channel that did really well, and they broke down like when the floods were, when the last big fire was, and everything. And this is just really devastating. It's been all over the news. Besides them talking about, of course, Trump entering the White House, and then I got stuck this morning drinking the rest of my coffee, watching. Did anybody know it only takes 6 hours? They actually switch out like Biden's crap. Say, let me get my PlayStation, my Pringles. Oh, I got to take that chair. And then they're out in 6 hours situation. So although they start in advance, like soon as they knew Trump was president and he was elected and, all that, they said they're making plans, yes, but the actual switchover is 6 hours, and they broke it down. And my ADHD and my focus was just a little bit enough to know that it takes 6 hours, and there's like this mass undertaking, and so they do everything, like the painting, and it's crazy. So, but so we shall see how that all goes, because I heard, I don't want to give any misinformation or chismis again, but I'm pretty sure the president said if that situation going on in the Middle East doesn't change, he plans to do something about it. So let's just leave it at that. And that's from multiple stations, but will he actually do it, or is he just, blowing smoke? Who knows? So, so that's the first thing I want to talk about. To talk about was the loss in California. So let me take Ufasa. And I want to introduce my purple Louie Lube that has entered the Antics family here, along with Brown Bread George, White Girl, White Bread Heidi, and I don't even have a name there for the other one. So, along with our, situation on. All right, next on the agenda is Q's Adventure. Okay. I watched more of his stuff. And for all those that were picking on Regular Guy or said they were all hanging out together and all this, yeah, I kind of got a weird vibe when he was talking to the girls, calling him pretty and you sure are pretty all the time, and some of the statements that he's made with the girls. But I looked at his very first video. He did talk about his SEC, and he went on and on about how it took months to do it. When I looked it up, it said it takes about 2 weeks to process the whole thing. Maybe it just took him some time. And understand, I would like to take back some of the stuff I said. Very little will you guys get out of me on this one. You don't need deposits to do that. I thought you needed an investor visa to do that. I didn't see that. But it does only give him like the bars here, like 40%. There's like a percentage that he'll own out of whatever corporation. And why would you form a corporation just for a bike shop? And that seemed to be about the time that he did the channel or whatever he's doing. Also, he's not old enough for an SRRV. He's not, he doesn't, he's not married to a Filipina. So the 13A is out of the question. So I'm curious on his status here. I'm pretty sure you had to be a permanent resident to do all of that, including the banking and whatever he's doing. So I'm still curious, like, on all that. And then, of course, the YouTube is separate. It's not going to be under the same umbrella unless he's running a bunch of YouTube channels and he's got a corporation based on him doing that. And somebody said there was some people that said that's what he's doing. He does help with other channels and stuff. So gosh knows what he's doing. But that would also require, for him running his own channel and everything would require that, and working the bike shop would require him to have a work permit. So, 2 or 3 people only said, hey, he's got his paperwork together. These are people leaving comments. Also, people had misunderstood because we had that Filipino guy come on, John. They're like, oh, well, you bring him on and blah, 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 and you didn't invite Q. No, we invited Q. He's just going to stay silent. And, you know, we have to actually invite him and give him a chance to come in for the topic of conversation. And he, we could see that he read it, but of course he's not going to appear. Sunshine told him he needed to talk about it because there's a lot of serious accusations. I mean, I've just been mentioning people talking about he's got different passports and that, you know, his status here and tax problems back in the US and all these rumors going around and alleged impossible and all these emails we're receiving. And on top of that, it's that he's running businesses, and sure, this young kid is saying, hey, he's not paying my taxes, this and that. But then we're hearing from some of the other people. And so you guys don't know the other people that we actually hear from, just like during that range 999, people from the club want to be heard and they start reaching out. So you know, we can only bring you what we've got. And so somebody says he has all of his ducks in a row. I'm still saying my gut feeling says no, because I can't see that he's met all those requirements. So that could be, could very well be that he's got a business license, he's paying taxes, he's paying his people taxes, that he's got his YouTube under you know, independent contractor, and he's paying his taxes for that here and not the United States. Could be that, you know, all of his visas and passports, all this stuff is up and up. So could be. So now the other accusations of the girls and this going on and employees and their love life and all that, hard to say. But in watching his videos, there's a lot going on. I watched a video today where he said that he tried to acquire an SM Mall movie theater for 50-something kids and they wouldn't give him a discount. So he's going on about being a philanthropy and how he does all this charity. He's going on and on. And then he said he ended up having to do just a projector on a screen at the orphanage or something. And it showed him doing like some barbecue and hot dogs. And that was how he settled, you know, doing the movie for the kids and everything. But there was like nothing, like George says, if there's no video, it didn't happen situation, but to some extent. So, but that's where I am on that one, is he's always showing his charity. And in my opinion, I said last time, the biggest crime that he's doing is the poverty corn thing, like everything, you know, that these people put on there where they just show that they're giving money or that they're putting poor people, and he's really bad at it. Like he flat out goes into the slums and he goes right in there and shows every inch of everything dirty, poor, and exhibits their lives for numbers. And he has mentioned this to other people. So that's he knows what he's doing. That was his intention, to make money and to build things. And so that's, you know, he should be doing all this charity offhand, and he can say he's trying to show it to people to gather money. And that's another thing. Every time he does something like that, where he's collecting money and giving out these college things, I don't think his corporation protects him from the DSW permits for each thing that he's doing. So a lot to process with him. So, and next on the list is Big Man in the Philippines. He has done a few videos since. I can't get past it. I mean, you guys think you can't get past me? It's really hard to get past him. I mean, even if you speed it up, it's not. You can't barely get through it. But basically, he's going on and whining about Sharia law and his woman's tribe this, and that how her family's coming first, and when his kid was sick situation, she chose her family. And so it's a lot of back and forth about the family and stuff. And but still, here he is. I don't see him leaving. So it still looks like he's actually here. And that's just another hot problem. This week, for those that didn't see that, he was degrading Filipinos, saying he got a divorce, got a 6-month-old baby, and that why treat Filipinos decent? They'd like to live like dogs, scoundrels, and roaches, and they're scandalous. And he was going on about mostly the situation with his wife, but kept saying he wasn't hurt about it. But yet he seemed butthurt, like really, really butthurt, guys. And so in the meantime, he's just tearing down and claiming he's going to leave. And so I still see he's here. But the consensus is he's just another one of the men that come in and take advantage of a Filipina, or the society, as they're saying Q is doing. They're coming in and they're just every part of it that they can. They're using the society to to get by. And so he just falls into that basket. The guys this week, like um, uh, Chad the dad is a little outside of the week that we covered. So he falls into the cusp of, he was complaining about his woman using the wrong vacuum and all that, but looks like he got his Filipino all the way to the US, and then a bunch of things went wrong, and now they're both using TikTok to communicate. They're both living in different parts of the house. They're making a bunch of money off of it. She won't talk to him. I haven't even looked at him for a couple days. So that was just, another situation of, and then the ex-wife was around, and I was like, hell nah. And no matter, I don't care if they were running a business together or not. He built a house for her, and they were always together. She went on that Disney trip. I understand the funeral thing, and so there it is on that one. But just, and go ahead and say all you want that I'm just hating. And yeah, that's what I'm missing, is taking advantage of Filipinos, or Filipinos. And I was thinking about that the other day, not taking advantage of Filipinos. Somebody had said something that I was jealous of the girls or something getting all the sticker money and something. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I am. Just, yeah, you got me on that. So, Q's adventure, and then David Campbell. Again, go ahead and get your comments ready. David Campbell. Again, Rose appeared on the live stream this week. She says he's still missing. She has not heard from him since like he left, and the first time she had heard from him. And that's another situation of a Filipina that is being mistreated by her expat husband, and he definitely displays it. And then she's like his personal nurse, which is a really bad ideal in a relationship. And I really feel for Rose for all the work that she's been doing with him and putting up with him. And then there's no possible way. I mean, although if George did the same and I sat here and said, hey, I won't talk to him anymore and blah, blah, if he tries to come back, of course I'm going to take him back. So she's just a loving, understanding wife that could be frustrated. But a lot of Filipinas or Filipinos, they're very passive and very quiet about it. Although we've seen her pop off on air. she's, really handling it well, because there's just no way. So, absolutely no way. What is going on? Laka or Lakapod? Oh, you're watching on the other channel. So I got confused. The channel name changed. Awesome. Because here's the thing. We have multiple channels, and that one used to be the pet channel previous to that. So while we're building the numbers on that channel, the name's changed a few times because we haven't. It's an extra channel right now, and so now officially that we know we want to run some live streams on it because it's dual broadcasting right now. That I thought about it, and I'm like, the one thing that me and George are relatable. You have all these expats that act like they're the top 3%, and they're just the uber rich, which they're not. I get that I'm not, so I can call a spade and say, hey, you're full of crap. You're not the rich people. You're not the people that have your life together. You're just telling people that on air. And, these days it's just unrelatable. The only reason these guys are relating to, say, Old Dog or Sunshine or Geo is because it's usually dealing with dating and this and that. They see that they've got a beautiful woman, and is he relatable? Are they? I don't know. But like, I'm an average, uh, overweight, disabled, on Social Security, not rich, just normal. And I just think we're more relatable in just putting the information out. We're not like with a bunch of sponsorships and making a ton of money on this. This is just a hobby for me. I told George that when he's sleeping or whatever, that's why I've been doing more live streams on my own, is because I like doing them. So the other channel we did call Relatable Expat and then Tainment. And of course, Tainment by itself just means basically entertainment. And so actually it's going to be, so we're just going to go with that. So, and then Philippines on it. So no, we've changed it like 3 times. Me and George went through names yesterday, and I'm like, no, I said, we're Expat Entertainment. So why not Expat Tainment? And nobody else has the name out there. So, yeah. So, and we were hoping to put some more videos on there. I'll probably put more expat help videos on there, because this one right now, now that the country's reopened and there's 101 videos out there, we'll probably just use the other channel. The booster was caught well, and the payload was lost. Oh, snap. I was like, load, booster. It made me think about George, guys. Okay, so how's that firefighting going with that crew and everything, where he had to like prove, like, they said he had his own fire crew out there working, and I was like, what's really going on and stuff. So yeah, Slick Rick, Heidi, do you think the Filipina P is using Aeon on her intros lately? Something looks different. Yes, most definitely, and there's nothing wrong with it. But I don't know. Some people don't mind the distortion in reality. And I started to edit a video like 2 days ago, and it had all these changes that I could use like that. It can remove my freckles, it can thin out my face and arms, it can make me actually look skinny. And I was like, no, when I'm out in public, I'm just a blob. I'm big, I'm tall. I'm not going to try to hide who I am or try to change myself. I have confidence, and she's a beautiful woman. She's, I mean, she's no, okay, I'm going to offend some people. She's not exactly, to you guys, she might be a dime piece. I'm an old woman that just sees an average Filipino here. Okay, there's a lot of smoking hot Filipinas, and young. And so she's okay. She's got her looks and everything. I would still be me in my shape with my disability before I'd trade places with the people. I have that much confidence. But somehow she must not, because she's AIing herself into something that she's really not. So that's all I can say on that. Is we have taken and using AI to make ourselves, like when we did the old homeless people on a couple things back, but we don't distort like the intros like that, or So we've so no, 6 hours. That's crazy. That's not even a full shift of work. No, they're saying, and I don't know why 6 hours. I don't know if it's maybe overnight from maybe midnight to 6 a.m. But I'll have to watch the rest of that because they were talking about like there's like two basement levels in the basement, like where they have like all their grids and wires and like all their computer stuff. And then they have where they got equipment. And I didn't know there were two levels down there. And then it's like ridiculous. I thought they said 32 bathrooms, 20 rooms. I'm a little off, but the numbers are up there, the White House, the section, and all of that. Hey, Chi Chi. Um, She's smarter than a lot of them. As a matter of fact, I wish I was that slick because I probably would get more sticker money or the way she is she like psychologically she's breaking those guys down and she's smart. I'm gonna let you know that right now. And they're just gonna keep falling into that. I heard her the other day saying, today I'm going to cover about the abuse of Filipinas and how their husbands this and that, and when you get them, they're broken. And I'm like, dude, everybody, it happens everywhere in all the countries. It happens in America and that. And she goes on how they're quiet about it. Same in the US. And so she's using the Filipina Western thing, talking about Western women again here lately. And I'm like, same thing applies, but she's using it for content. But like in the beginning, she's like really smart. She says, I know you're going to disagree with me, so be sure to leave a comment, or I know you're going to comment about it and have your opinion and your say about it. So, and I'm like, dang, she keeps mentioning kind of like when Widow Thornton was going through and mentioning, or they're really slick. I don't even know how they even I don't know. They just do. So she kept saying, I know you guys are going to leave a bunch of comments, negative, positive, and she's slick in the same. Who was it that just did that? It was not Widow Thornton. They actually put it in there, but somebody else did it recently where they just outright, oh, it was Rose. Rose kept saying, I'm not here to collect any money. I'm not asking for any money. And they did that all the time by not asking. First thing, George, George is quiet. He goes, she's asking for money by saying that. I said, mm, but they're getting their money. It's a living. I don't blame them. I, they're young and they've got a full life ahead of them. Yes, TikTok could go dark soon. Does anybody have an idea who you think will buy it? I know they're talking about Mr. Beast already has billionaires that are backing him, and that's who they're saying is going to buy it. So I don't know if that's a real hint to who's actually going to buy it. And so yes, somebody would have to buy it to reverse it, and that just seems like a big jump. But here's the thing: like here in the Philippines, they just flat out say the apps aren't available. According to them, whoever has it will get to keep it, and it'll continue, but I don't know why it just won't be shut off the way, they say not available in your area and it just goes down. But I guess it's because it's installed. So it'll be interesting. So yeah. Most definitely. To be fair, girls are blamed to blame too, and that would go for Q, and then nobody's innocent in this. Down to Big Man's wife, I'm sure she did a bunch of stuff. It's never just one sided. When I keep hearing these guys talk about how bad it was in the West to date, and then there's always two sides, most definitely. And the same with Q and his girlfriend out there hunting, and these employees, and those girls were willing to do those interviews. A lot of them, though, he's taking advantage because they need the money. And so maybe not. Maybe they're taking advantage of him. Who's to say? Howdy, howdy, Clifford. What's up, Clifford? What is up? I'm keeping my eyes open for him on the streets here in Vegas, but no luck. I'm wondering if Rose really start calling all the hospitals and the police because that just seems weird. It's been weeks. I I would have actually went there, and she claims she has her 10-year visa now. So she would have the ability, and they had claimed to have had X amount of money. So, but then what is she going to do? It would be expensive to stay in hotels and all that to look for him. But I would hope that she's made all those phone calls to the police and back over to the, but maybe he just doesn't want to be found. So that's for sure. Hey, what's going on? Tito George's the topic. This is Spill the Tea Saturday. Usually on Saturdays, we cover all the things that's going on. So it is one big topic. So you came in about 10 minutes ago. So everything. So Q's Adventure, Big Man in the Philippines debacle, David Campbell. We're just talking about, the poverty, what we call porn, or people exposing Filipinos for the money, or showing, like, we seen a guy one time a couple years ago. He went into like where the Bajaus live, like where they're on the planks out there in the water, and like showing how dirty some of them live, where they're just going to the bathroom into the water, and like the insides of their shacks are in bad shape. And he's like down there, like there was a girl that admitted she was like 16 or something, and he actually asked her out there right there on the camera, and we were like boom. I was like, what's up with that? And she said how old she was, and then somebody said later that he did. And so this was just a random vlogger, nobody in our circle. And so a lot of them will go into bad areas, and here lately we've been seeing multiple vloggers that will show like giving stuff to the homeless and rice, food. And like at the holiday time, there was a bunch that were like handing money out on camera things, and they'll show like the most destitute people. And why aren't they doing that off air like we do? Every now and then you will see us do that, but it's usually like when we did the Christmas bags, one or two, but these aren't super destitute people. We gave Gusty a bike, and I get where they say, oh, well, we collected a bunch of money. We want the people to see it. We individually bought Gusty a bike without collecting any money. We just did it because he was a regular bottle collector. We see him every now and then. We gave him some medicine for his legs and stuff, but it was just because he was out there one day. But it could all be done off camera. So that's what we've been going around on. And welcome. Yes and no. Hey, yes and no. The reason I don't know the only thing I know about him, besides one or two vloggers that went out to go visit him, and this has been going on for years, is that the video actually showed him like attacking a girl at a bar or something, and that there was some sort of fight with a weapon, and that he's just been misbehaving and broke, and there's been a lot of jokes about that, and that's about all I know about him. So beings it's so old, I was going to go over that Terrence Flannery thing, and I'm like, why not? There'll just be another expat that'll mess up, that'll give me something to talk about, not to do in the Philippines. There's no reason in going back on that old dude. I mean, he's got so many different things. It would take me. There's no reason. There's no reason whatsoever. And this isn't because we're not going to gain nothing. Our channel's not like making 20,000 US dollars. As a matter of fact, I was just talking about Q's Adventure. One of his videos a year ago got 1 million views, and he'll laugh if he, let's see. All right. So yeah, I was right on that. So yeah, minimally, just the one video made anywhere between 10 and 20,000 minimally, and that's with no donations based on it, no PayPal, no buy me a coffee, no nothing, just for one video. So I'm assuming he paid all of his taxes on that here in the Philippines, and that he did all that stuff right and reported all that stuff. But no, it's just no reason to go back over Terrence Flannery for his debacles and shingle shangle bangle stuff that he actually does. But no. I hate to say it, usually we choose who we're actually, going to cover in old news and like old school 100%. If a person were rich and had a YouTube channel, the questions become why. That's true. That's another thing, is Q's trying to sell a bike business. And then all of a sudden, George Flip, I said, I told you he's running that bike shop out of a regular house. I said, he's not even in an official. Here, buildings are kind of unofficial. Like, so you'll go up on MacArthur Highway and you'll just see a little section, and some of those can be 400 or 500 US dollars a month, and that's a lot here. That's really expensive. And they have actual bike shops inside of those little shops, and you'll just see them. They're like right all next to each other, like a strip mall, guys. But they're smaller. Like if I walk in and there's two of me, we probably both couldn't walk in there at the same time. That's how little these places. They're like, give me an ideal, guys. I'm looking inside the size of our house, and these houses are built so narrow. I'm going to say the living room's about 30 to 40 feet wide, and then it's long this way. That's why I call it like a townhouse. It's got 2 levels, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. And he's not even running it out of there. He's just running it with them like parked inside of a carport situation, and he's running the entire business out of there. And he's asking 20 million pesos, and it's like that's almost 400,000 US for what? Like 30 used bikes and a list, and all he couldn't even answer Sunshine's questions. That's how I felt he was being shady. A lot of people, oh, he's up and he's a good person and he's a philanthropist, and he's been telling you that. He's like been it seems to me like brainwashing to me. So why? I will tell you in the beginning, I thought it was just a lot of narcissism. Some of them are just doing it to be cruel, and they're dark trolls and they like to talk crap just for their boredom. Others like us, I'm going to take the money that comes in, and usually, it's a for in retirement, being I'm really not doing anything else, and my day is like totally empty. And people that don't say that are liars. There's no way to keep your day full here in the Philippines. You wouldn't be doing it in the US in retirement. I've discussed my grandparents' retirement and other people's retirements before. You don't have a full schedule. So I do it to inform. I do it for the fun. Sometimes I like to poke fun. Sometimes I just like to do the drama. Ask why all these other millions of channels are doing it. Do you realize only it's like 1 to 2% ever get monetized of any money? Now you might get 5% if you include where they get some sort of sponsorship, so they never get monetized through YouTube. There really is not the money. People are just doing it to be doing it. But yeah, why was he doing? No, he's making a crap load of money. But the others, I don't know. That can give you an idea. Cool. I'm new to the channel. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Almost all these YouTubers are hustling for small change. Yes, most definitely. And it's they are. So, and I can't blame these girls for actually using the guys, or like the P knew right out the gate what she was doing. And she's definitely using advertisement. Her numbers do not match whatsoever. There is no way to make the numbers she is. She is not that good. She is not that original. I've been calling the P out for years. I've watched her content. She has some decent content, but it's not that good. And analyzing her channel and talking with our manager, there's no way that you have, where's she at, 133,000. Let me take a look. You can't get that kind of percentage. There's no way. Tops, you get 20%. So if she has a channel, take 20% and divide that, and that's really high. And she's getting like 80% of her numbers all the time. That means she's either farming, possibly, I have to say that, or she's paying for Google advertisement, and she takes a big portion of her money and puts it back into there, which it's a business. So she probably is, and good for her. That means that she's farming through Google to do it. So she's paying a high amount of advertisement, and it's a business for her. So it's to be expected, but the numbers are really off on that. So, but it's her. The Filipinas that are running those type of channels, that one Christmas video, there's another person. She used an entire Christmas video to show that she went on a jeepney and was handing out food to the poor people. What'd she get? She got rewarded by being given probably 3,000 just in stickers inside the comments. That means she got Patreon. That means she got, PayPal. Everything else had to come on the side. Plus the video got good numbers. So she made a lot of money. She probably made about 7,000-8,000 US just for that one video. As far as donations, could be more. So, yeah. So it's a hustle. Get your hustle on. Where are the cats? Sleeping. I'm looking around now. Yeah, the puppy's down there staring at me, but they get moving about 5 a.m. And remember, there's a second level. They could be upstairs, and I don't see any. No, I don't see looking in the corner here. No, so could be sleeping on the other side of George. Ah, interesting. The Filipina P is an alcoholic. Her life is very super quiet, and I'm surprised with the few of the channels that used to cover her with like trying to expose her in the past that they didn't. But I mean, she's keeping her like nose what I call to the grindstone, so it's possible that's why they haven't. But some of her information is like way out there, but it's kind of hard saying. Watching from Bakersfield, California, what is going on? Balut John. The Filipina P mostly reached out to washed out old Western men and tells them what they want to hear. Yeah, because I've seen her contradict herself in one video or another. And so, which it's about the business. So, her herself, as I'm to understand from the people that have spoke about her and meeting her, she's a very nice person. And I'm not doubting that for one moment. You know who they said was a great guy, and I was actually going to reach out to him? They said that sick grandpa guy that had the one that they're claiming his channel disappeared and he restarted a new one. Pussycat. Pussycat. They actually seen him at an airport. Supposedly he's super, super tall, and he really is like a tall, big guy. And Pussycat. He was just here in Angel City. He still might be here in Angel City. So, which, hey, sorry if you're watching or you listen. We know you watch. So, um, but no, it's people, versus what the content they're putting out. Could be now. Does he drink and rant on air, and he's living his best life? More power to him. He's doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. We're doing our thing, and the P is said to be a really, really nice person. So, no, she's definitely raking in the cash. So, seeking stories of British citizens who lost everything in the Philippines and returned home. A British man was robbed in Subic and now in Manila seeking help and assistance. Okay, so I'm kind of missing that. Is that you personally seeking people? But there are quite a few. Every time I'm out and about, I see what looks to be homeless expats here in Angel City, Mabalacat City. Um, yeah. Being FRM the horse. What is going on? Blame each person for their half. Yeah. DC lobbyists will save TikTok and CCP. I don't know. I mean, they've already determined it's to be gone. There's less than what, 2 days? So they're saying it's already been done. I mean, and I don't think that's just rumors or whatever. They're saying that's it. So unless somebody actually buys, then but I mean, could be that the lobbyists get something done. Hey, what's going on, Laura? Horrible Western women here. Okay. Did David really get on a plane? And have we seen him there? It showed him at the airport. It showed her taking him there. I mean, I don't know if Rose would go that far to show content of him arriving. The last it showed him was in the airport parking lot smoking. Yeah, maybe they could have all went out there. Hey, people have done this before, by the way, for content. Some of it is purely set up, but I don't think so. Because this isn't the first time, Laura. I think you've asked us about that before. David has disappeared and went to the US before. And so this is not normal, or this is not an unknown for David. This is normal. So he might be living in the underground tunnels of Las Vegas, right? Yeah, I'm not sure on which part. There's nothing wrong with that, though, Heidi. Gotcha. Giving to the Filipinos on camera isn't a bad thing if it brings awareness. I disagree. I disagree. If it brings more awareness and more revenue to help them, yeah, no, I would disagree with that. It's really bad. Um, that is something you should be doing that off air. Also in the Philippines, giving to the homeless and giving stuff away, they have strict rules on that. So these guys are not only coming here and not having work permits for, doing this type of vlogging here, which became a law several years ago, and they're not adhering, which everybody's, sees that things are lawless here. So then they think they can do it. And no, I would disagree on that. Bringing awareness so they get more revenue. I'm sure that's what he was thinking, and I'm sure he's giving money away. So he said he gives away to a few colleges. It costs $50 a month to pay for some of that. And so I don't know. I would disagree. There's absolutely no reason his entire channel turned into showing poverty, turning into showing bad off expats, and actually doing the entire thing. And so, I mean, I get the awareness and all of that, and I myself would disagree. Hey, K Dallas, good morning. If he was giving all that money away and was getting all of his proper permits and following all the rules, then maybe. But I don't even think he should be. Those that do them type of documentaries and all that, it should be a proper documentary, not, hey, girl, you are beautiful. And that's what he does half the time. So, no, that's not what he's doing. That's not what the people are saying he's doing. And that's not what's coming through the grapevine. So, he wants to use that as a cover up. And I'm just calling him out. So, prove otherwise. Where's your receipts? Show your receipts because people have been sending me receipts. So, hey, what's going on, Vet Vlogs? I agree. They're both amazing to watch. She is a superstar. King B. I've met Q Derek a few times at Sunshine's meet and greet at his apartment, Lapu Lapu. Deception can be a form of lying or omitting. That's something a lot of them have been doing here lately, is just if they don't say either way, then to me that could be almost as bad. No, he doesn't. None of them, including us, ever owed an answer to anybody. But when you still, whether it's me, George, Q, or any of them, people used to laugh when we said we were public figures. We've cut tens of millions of views on all different platforms. And so, yes and no, do we have um, the ability to change things and help and all that, but I think people should be following the rules and everything. And yeah, just omit it, and not saying what's going on. I mean, he couldn't even answer questions on air, and he's been following the same thing. Day one, he did a video, unless he deleted a bunch before that. His very first video is, hey, I'm starting a business. I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. I'm a philanthropist. And I plan to help people, and I plan to this, and that. And maybe he is on the up and up. The Filipina P. Calvin and Q are both scammers. 384,000. Is that where she's finally at? Yeah, those numbers. So my guess is she's using, what's it called? Yeah, she's really grown the numbers. 11 hours ago, please get me pregnant. No strings attached is her latest thumbnail. And that's definitely AI in the intros. Will you give me a baby? An indecent proposal. Yeah, she's got that going on. And those are definitely AI'd. So, but the actual photos that she's got going on these days, and I don't know why, she's already pretty. So, checking something out here. And 20% would be high. Okay. Yeah, because 50% would be 175. 20% is showing around 16.9, 17,000. So 20 to 25,000 views would be really high. Average is 2 to 5% now. 2 to 5, because every subscriber does not watch. So then that means, in my opinion and manager's opinion, that those are advertised viewers. So, but yeah, and her numbers don't reflect that. A lot of people have, but I mean, she's still getting her numbers and everything. So, yeah, last video 11 hours ago, 45,000, 75,000, 72,000, 83, 70, 92,000. You're telling me three-quarters of her people, almost, or not three-quarters, but a quarter? That's crazy. 92,000. There's just, and that's why 101,000, 98,000, 90, 78, 85, 134,000 2 months ago on one of her videos, 90,000, 130,000. Are Filipinas into this sort of thing in the bedroom? It doesn't matter. There's not that many simps in the world that would be attracted to her page with all the other simping channels out there. So, no, she's doing her thing with advertisement. So, good for her. Thumbs up. What's going on? The P has a foreign guy writing her material for her. That's a fact. She has a Filipina is the reason for her success. Well, I don't know. That the numbers aren't right, King B. So, not even close. Nobody has that. Nobody has that kind of success. So, her being a Filipina, she's not the most attractive Filipina here. And she's not, I mean, we knew it was scripted and she had help and all of that. It's not, others. I'm not the only one that has spoke of her channel. There's been many, many others, but it doesn't change that she has, the content. Good morning, Sperlin Edwards from, is that Lapita or Lapata? Hey, what's going on? George or Balut, you've been here in a little bit. I mentioned that earlier, why he's not here. So he'll appear every now and then, and he's been working for a little bit. Seems like YouTuber folks need to be really creative in order to generate different passive incomes, yeah, with their videos. So, yes. Enjoy your channel and unscripted content. Thank you. You're entitled to your opinion, but it's helping people. Sure, people use it to take advantage, and I agree. That's horrible. I reserve my opinions on Derek because I have seen his real side. Gotcha. So, gotcha on that. He's new video about Filipinas asking to be impregnated. Yeah, basically discourages the man to try and get back in touch. What is going on? Why do I care how much Q is selling his rental business for? It's nothing to do with you. He has a proper license. That is his business, not yours. Bring Derek on the live stream and ask, because we did, Sweetie Bear. Okay, so first off, he was invited and he's well aware that we've asked. There's been no reach out, and it's everybody's business. Why? Because he's already put his business out there. And as far as his business is out there, then it's going to keep being talked about. So prove it. Bring the receipts. Is that you, Q? I'll call you out just like it is. Okay, and what? Because he went on Sunshine Shoulders channel to sell his business in front of people, and he's been talking about it. Where's the business? My business is his business if he puts it out on the internet here in the Philippines. And then a bunch of other people coming for it. Prove it. Prove that you've got your proper visas, your proper DSDW permits for going to orphanages and doing your little parties and giving things away, and the money that you do in the colleges you pay for. Prove it all. Prove it all stuff that you put out there already. And then you'll get a full apology. Somebody's like, I need to apologize. I'll apologize when he shows it for all the people that have been dropping stuff and what is evident on air. So prove that you went through as a foreigner, okay, with what possibility of visa. Show that you have all of that. That's all linked together. Not one, all of them, because that requires DSWD permits. That requires you to have a proper visa as far as just prove it. Prove all of the things that are linked together. That your YouTube is linked to your corporation and that you're paying the Philippines taxes for you working here with you being the owner of the channel, all of that. Show that you've done all these things properly and go ahead and say that you don't have to, and then selling a business with the business partners, all of this. So go ahead. He had a chance to come on. He's had a chance to reach out. If he wants to call me or reach out at Philippine Antics, then he can. You know, there's only been like 6 full defenders of him. Okay, 6 total, like since this whole thing has started, that's come forward and said anything. I don't expect people, you know, to like come through and that there was going to be a bunch of them, but well, prove it. Prove it and reach out to me, and then I will come back through and apologize and tell the world. Prove it to me, because there's no reason not to. So like if whatever, you're going on air and Sunshine had said something to you about doing it and you still haven't. I'm not going by that one employee. Are you even kidding me right now? There are multiple people sending me paperwork. So go ahead with the employees that are starting to talk and everything else and prove, you know, the face that they're giving you, whoever you people are that are staying in his house, that you have the permits to be a subletter and a renter and all that falls under the corporation umbrella, and that you have, you know, the proper visas to do all of this too, because that it would all be required. I may not exactly be right on how many are required, but pretty close. I'm sure that he's keeping a huge percentage of the revenue he's bringing in for his own betterment. Sadly, I agree that he's got sketchy behavior. Yeah, there's something going on. And now others are, like I said, it's not his, you know, it's not also where they're saying that him and his girlfriend are having, you know, all these other side things, because they're adults. That's fine. But when they start saying that there are other things going on and then that, and there's like 5 or 6 issues going on besides proving the receipts that he's doing all this in front of people, collecting money. Like one of the guys that he keeps claiming about the money has reached out. He's already sent us the receipt showing us all the money that he gave. And the girl that was supposed to have her roof fixed, why is she lying? Okay, forget about the employee, the guy that you guys say is spurned. What about the girl? Then she's lying too. Maybe all these people that are coming up against him are just trying to get money out of Q, because he's just bawling. So maybe that could be. But you know, they're doing what they got to do, and I'm doing what I got to do. So who's the bad actor on the docket for tonight? All of them, man. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stop right there and I'll go through these. Let me show. I got you a bad actor. I'm glad you asked, Black Grandpa. I want to show you this guy that I was talking about earlier that has the age gap, not an age gap, but an age canon situation going. And he's getting all the ladies. Now, you guys might have seen this guy. The video had come through in December, okay?
Incredible.
So it's fair to say that you love it here.
Oh God, yeah.
So you're 70 years old, going on 20. Do you have a girlfriend, Peter?
I have 8.
You've got 8.
I've got 8
What could
girlfriends.
go wrong?
Okay. And I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people don't talk about. The other vloggers talk about. The girls here, they're very loyal. Okay. Everybody knows other vloggers are loyal, but what I'm going to tell you is, when you meet a girl.
Did he just say the vloggers are loyal? You ain't getting no loyalty here, man. I will. I don't know. I'm gonna let you know. I'll turn on them in the dime. I think he meant the other girls or something. But this guy is in Cebu, and the title was dealing with he's got 8 girlfriends, and he's giving you free advice like, "Hey, this is Geo in about 10 years."
Here, and you have a relationship with her, they introduce you to their friends. You can have a relationship, sexual relationship with them, and they're not jealous.
No,
It's incredible.
not a
It blew my
Filipino.
mind when I came here. So when I meet girls, they fix me up with
Anybody else notice a behavior about this guy? Anything out of the ordinary? How he's acting? But no, Filipinos don't get jealous here. There's no jealousy here in the Philippines, guys.
their girlfriends, and everybody's happy. And they don't have boyfriends. They only see me. They share me with each other, and they're happy.
In the West, that's not happening. First off, we ain't gonna share. We ain't gonna fight. We just wouldn't notice this guy. So, and I'm sorry. I know you guys will say, "Hey, that's just you as an American woman." At least he came here and got him some, and this is that. But then he's taking on 8 different women. You do realize all the social mechanisms to that, all the different diseases, and even just kissing could become the kissing problem.
And a lot of these girls work, and they got kids, 2 or 3
Yes.
kids on average. So
So he's got 8 girlfriends with at least, so there's 16 to 24 kids that he's paying Jollibees for. This guy's rich.
a lot of them that I know work in the malls, and they're working all the time. They work 6 days a week. They got 1 day off. So on their day off, they got to spend it with their kids. So I'm their boyfriend.
So naturally, I'm curious. So you've got 8 girlfriends. So where do you meet these women at?
In the mall.
In the mall.
In the mall. I don't meet them on Facebook or
Which is common.
the dating sites,
Why not?
because it's so easy to meet them in public. You can be walking down the street when one smiles at you. Hi, how you doing? What's your name? You tell them my name. You get their phone number, and they'll most likely be your girlfriend.
So Peter,
So, real quick, I mean, I get people like, it's so easy in the Philippines. You realize a lot of guys leave out of here empty handed. So, this thing about just randomly, it is a possibility and everything, but I'm not aware that it is exactly that easy. But also, it screams that Filipinas are actually that desperate and just need money or whatever they're doing. Because this guy is looking like John Wayne and not Brad Pitt. And even Brad Pitt's getting up there in age, guys. And he's talking about all these girlfriends and he just gets them on the hook, huh? This guy's a dime piece.
do you have a lot of women here smiling at you?
Yeah,
What age?
I keep meeting them.
What
It never ends.
What are the ages?
From 23 on up to 46.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So there's the last topic, age canyon. So give or take their 23, 24 to 47-year difference of the girlfriends that he's with. What could possibly go wrong, guys? What could possibly go wrong? Nothing. Nothing. I mean, let's say that's exactly how it works every single time. If you've got 8 different Filipinas and he's claiming most of them don't have boyfriends, they probably do, or husbands. I'm going to let you know that right now. So not only are the ones that he might be claiming he's got that they share, their friends share and all that, they got a boyfriend or a husband somewhere. So he's sharing her with all these people and it's all going around. And in the meanwhile, you guys all end up with everything. I mean, name it, you've got it. You guys are swapping spit, you got it. And so, along with a few extra kids, and then that guy, oh my God. Oh boy. Wow. I concur with Heidi. Making a show of a wonderful person you are is just to satisfy your own vanity. Some do. I mean, me, at least I'm admitting it's because I'm bored in retirement and just me being me. And like I said, I don't mind apologizing. I've had to do it before. Have I had to admit to things of my past and whatever? Sure. So, on with it to some point. And so I'm not exactly going to be liked. People didn't like, George is a nice guy. And it's like our channel only had X amount of chance. And I was like, this is my year to shine because people are tired of the crap. Add more things to the plate like the wildfires and possibly World War III and all the devastation going on. Nobody's got time for that crap. Nobody's got time for the simping pea situation or, the same advice being given out by expats. And now they're just like mass reporting the same thing. And I don't even know how. Sorry, guys. I don't even know how you guys even watch. Like some of the people in our circle right now I'm like, where did this guy come from? And it's like, hi, welcome to the Philippines. And today, and like in the meantime, the camera's like all like this. And it's like, today I'm going to talk about how somebody tried to eat my goat and tried to beat up my girlfriend. And my truck got a flat tire. So I had to use my motorcycle to go out and pick up some rice. So I'm going to describe the rice to you. And the rice is white and it's in a plastic sack. And, oh, hell no, man. I'm out. It's like, so reality is going to be in, and that's what I'm about ready to give you is reality. I've been quiet too long, so sad. Now this is my year to shine, George's year to shine, and we'll be taking Bitcoin. I'm just going to flat out ask for it. And George has the licensing to do it. So we'll be taking Bitcoin. We're just going to ask you for it. Bitcoin, people. I already put up a thing. Nobody did any stickers yet. What, you guys don't care? Don't bother giving any stickers, guys. I'm not asking for any money, just Bitcoins. And George needs a new gaming chair. If you guys don't care about me, care about your boy. He's sitting in a wooden chair when he's working in his office, just a hard wooden chair, not even a plastic chair, like wood, that he had to whittle. Like he took like a pocket knife and had to make that, Oh, yeah. Regarding making a show of handling our presence, our money on camera. Yeah. Hey, what is going on, Gina? Yep. Exploitation. I can't remember the words half the time. They go like in and out of my head. My ADA. I should have took some medicine today. They will never go away and just make me shake my head. Most old white men and young Filipinos have an agenda. There is, and it's sad. And for me, it's almost like that art of war situation where you're not really supposed to make a move, and then the other guy, and then you just watch him it's another form of, exploitation war situation. And I've sat back and I've watched it long enough, and it's just getting crazier. And I wonder what it was like pre-internet. I guess they physically had to come over, sit in the bars, or they came off the military bases, and the internet has just made it crazy. It's just like heightened at times like 100. So, and there's different shades of white here, man. Like, I come from parents of two different shades of white. I'm just shady as all shady out, except for I don't have Cheeto dust in my beard and mustache. So, yeah. One. My mom had white and freckles, and my dad was just white. So, my grandmother said I was the product of standing behind a screen door in Ohio near a cornfield when that cow pooped. That's where my freckles came from. Actually, they said it was angel kisses. Good morning, Curtis. What is going on? What is going on, Cindy? Hey, what's going on? It could be because of the big man. So, Ruffy Tufo, pulling it. Here's the thing with the language and everything, guy. It was kind of like when I was in Egypt for a long period of time, or you're in a foreign country like in Mexico. I'm picking up on the words, and I think I'm understanding. I'm doing this and stuff, and but speaking it has become a little bit like hard. I just ain't got no room in my head for anything. So But yeah, it could be. But welcome. Hughes selling his business can be risky to everyone. It's worth saving peeps by discussing this. That is true. So, I mean, come on. I mean, because what I'm to understand and what I've watched him, I'm not young. I'm like, I am, let's see, Q is claiming he's like 46 years old. And so I'm a little older than him, not by much, by about 5, 6 years. But when I've seen shady, I've seen all kinds of shady. And this is, how are you going to sell somebody a bike business that really doesn't exist? Somehow he's got the smoothing ability to do this. And watch Sunshine's video, it's all there. What it is people don't want to invest the time to go back and watch these videos. What you guys don't know is I do watch these videos. So I've watched Sunshine's video. I watched a few of his videos, and the way that he keeps asking and the way he's selling the business and he's not responding. Sometimes that's just shady when you're not answering like when I've seen Trump or the other presidents, they're flat out asked something, you know, um, are those ships going to be docked there long enough for you to add 40,000 pounds of corn to take it over to California to make popcorn and give it out because of, there's a fire over there? And is that what you're going to be doing? I was thinking about buying a helicopter and taking it to New York, and I might pick up some popcorn in about a week. Next question. And that's kind of how it goes. He'll mention something like, man, okay, because you heard the word corn and popcorn, you just move on with the situation. But it's some of the underhanded responses. People should have the right. And that's what this is a group discussion, always has been. These are not definitions, and this is not. This is a group discussion, and these guys are on the table. And for nobody to not say something is also, a disservice too. And yeah, so there's so many different things that are going on. If he was just doing that and then there was nothing else going on, like him selling his business and some of the other things that are out there, then people might just pass through. But he's putting all of his business out there on YouTube. Do your business, give out your stuff, do your, bike business and all of that, but just keep it off of YouTube where you're not showing the world either. And then be like, oh, they're talking about me. Yeah, no, we're just randomly, picking on you for no reason. The whole, you should know that, man. Roaming nomad. He seems like a good guy. Yeah, sure. Hey, Naga, Cebu City. What is is that from early? Actually, that's from 16 minutes ago. Still got. Hey, actually, I'm just going to call you out. Is that you, Q? I always do that when I think it's somebody specifically. You're repeating yourself. Next. Again, it's none of your business. Jealous of what? Jealous of what? I already said I'm broke, bitch. What you talking about? I've been broke. I said I'm the welfare expat of the Philippines. Bam, you got me, okay? Just like the other 100,000 of them that are actually here, right? Sure, that's what it is. None your business? None your business. Next. When you put your life on social media, expect the criticism. Yep. And I'm going to keep calling them out. Same with Mr. Whatever. It seems though it could be Q or it could be the same 3, 4, 5, 6 expats, and they're called other jealous channels and other people that have been blocked from our channel. They they take the time and they remake other accounts to come in and say things, and still, next, you got nothing. Okay, good for you. Go on and go play somewhere else. But what happened? Next. We need prove you right. She is right. It is put on the internet. Valid question. Prove it all, Derek, and come on the channel, be open, or do it on your own channel. How come he didn't have to go in there and answer the employee, right? Because somebody's like, oh, well, you guys didn't check the guy. You had him on your channel, and he came on, and he said he did this, this, and that, and it's not true. And I don't care. Whatever he says, I'm not responsible for. Everybody that goes on CNN or Fox or on these other talk radio shows or shows and stuff, they don't do all that stuff. They don't they bring them on. Bull crap, they fact checked any of those people these days, any of the shows. I am not responsible for our guest, period. That's an opportunity for him to speak, then that's between him and actual Q. That's not the only stuff that we found out, though. So understand other people sent receipts. So some of the stuff I'm talking about, I feel a little confident. So Sunshine told him to do it. He's aware of it. He's still putting his life out there, business, everything, giving things away and all that. Prove you have all that stuff, that you're following the rules. I'm following the rules 100%. I'll tell you that right now. I'm 100% straight. Everything. Instead of Q giving the money to the girl that was donated by Tom to her, he chose to send it back to him and told the girl to leave and never come back. So then how come Tom didn't say that, Chris? Send it back to Tom himself. You do realize Tom was one of the people that got a hold of us, right? So I'm just curious, Chris, that situation. Then were some of the receipts we received. So it was a lot of money. So we seen him give her money twice, which requires a DSW permit. Money coming in like that and being handed off is giving that type of donations away. Collecting them and giving them away is a different law here. Now, here's the thing. I will be quite openly, brutally honest. Most businesses here are under the table. I hate to say it, they're shady too. You got all kinds of businesses. You have all kinds of mom and pop shops. So really, there's a lot of it going on. So I feel, being this is all going on here in the Philippines and unregulated restaurants and bars and all these different things going on, then that could be why that, people are feeling they can come here and, get away with things. Some truth to the Filipino P talking about abused Filipinas and all that. So then maybe, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff, guys. It just goes another way. But Tom is one of those that came forward and recontacted me after the fact. And he actually watched this. So if he was given the money and he's watching again, then he could go ahead and respond to that. So he does a lot of pay for play. Gotcha. This guy is a nice man. A monger who befriended fuckers. A 7-year-old living his best life at the end. Fair play to that guy. That's true too, but that's, I don't think it works out for everybody like that. I mean, to me, he's just giving it's not normal. I mean, unless you guys all want to come forward and say this happens every time, but there's a lot of guys who leave here empty-handed, and I keep calling him the tribe of men. He's been discussing, even up to recently, the guys are going home empty-handed, and he gets these guys and interviews them and talks, and he travels to Asia, and he goes, it's not what they're saying. It is pay to play. We're not talking about like a little bit. We're talking about you can just have a woman delivered to your room most places. So that's where some of them are scoring. And, if you're wanting a more deep and meaningful relationship for whatever time you have left, it definitely wouldn't work like that, nor would you want it to. So, but yeah, he's living his best life. That's an age canyon, but what could go wrong, No jealousy because there is no love, transactional money and deal. Yeah, no, that is true. Hey, Gina, that guy is Tattoo Fantasy Island, right? Right. This guy is hilarious as long as no one gets hurt and he knows the deal is fine. But yeah, he most likely will be milk dry. And there's probably husbands and boyfriends, but I guess, I can think of a few of my family members that might actually be like, hell yeah. So who cares? It's fun. It's kind of like being 20 again. So, but it doesn't always quite work like that. So, and if it was that easy, then Walking Street would probably close down because you pay a lot less money. That place is downright got expensive, guys. Bar fining, everything, cost of food, cost of drinks, improvements to their establishments. It's just ridiculous down there at cost. So at his age, let him play and enjoy his last time on earth. He may be lying a little bit. He also said he's going to stay in Panama. Yeah. What is going on, Q or whoever? Seems like Heidi likes to attack successful channels that has money, and Heidi and George are broke, so that's what it's all about is the money. Sure, that's what it is. Get your own channel. Next. Get your own channel, hon. Yeah, it's about the money. Actually, I talk smack about you for free. So, mm, mm, there's your vision. Hope you think And we think about that for the rest of the day. Ding dong. Ding dong. Do that for free too. He sounds like he's talking about bar girls or low hanging fruit. And let me tell you about the latest show that I've been watching. It's called, oh my God, I can't even. Um, it's not a new show, but it's the new show with let me get what season I'm in. But basically, they were like doing doing shots, and they said they mentioned low hanging fruit, and the box of fruit is still good or something. I was like, that was hilarious. But yeah, I started watching another series the other day. He dyed his hair black. Hey Joseph, what is going on? Post Office Joe, good morning. They pass him around. He makes me laugh. Uh, gotta like him. I found a channel named Tim K. Did you? Where you been? A Filipino wife. Wondering if you all have seen him. No, never seen him. Anybody else know Tim K out there? Hey guys, do a shout out about Tim. Tell me if you guys like Tim K. What you think of Tim, and Chrissy K. and Chrissy's channel. And I remember there was that whole fiasco with Tim K. when they were taking in typhoon funds. Does anybody else remember that part of it? Speaking of money. There was that whole fiasco allegedly. Well, there wasn't allegedly. They actually were asking for funds to help people, and that they were going to be doing things. And he's one of many that did that during a few of these typhoon things. And then Chrissy went on and did a live herself and did the same thing. And there were supposedly issues with DSWD and tarps. I thought there were tarps being given out also by him. There was a bunch of them where they went through that. But yeah, that's a channel that's been around. If this would have been 2-3 years ago, I would have said, okay, there's only X amount of vloggers here, even if it was hundreds of them. But now it's literally thousands that are actually thousands and thousands of expat couples like that. No fool like an old fool. What's going on, Jim Sullivan? Hey, King B. I was chatting with 8 or 9 different Filipinas and 2 American professional women when I chose a Filipina I'm with. She stole my heart, and I told all the rest of the women that I'm in a relationship. Da, da, da. What's up, Nikki Page? First you have to have one. So, what's going on, Thera? Shine, lady, shine. Love it. Great show. What is going on? Sure. Of course. Yeah, absolutely. On certain days. Not today. Yes, you're right. Ted, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's true. No Bitcoin, just your how do you actually pronounce that? Ethereum, I think it was. How can you hate men when you're married to one? Uh, let's see. Quid pro quo. Slim Shady. Yes, please stand up. He doesn't care. He's 80. Yeah, most definitely. I feel like sometimes it's just plain old love, Gina, between old man and young Panay, because that's how it is with mine and my older one. And it does happen, guys. It's, although we joke or talk about it or it's been brought up in discussions, of course there is. And for those that know me, I was in an age gap relationship before George. I was with a guy for several years, Canadian guy, and I was in my 40s and he was in his 70s. There was 30 years between us. So I was attracted to his age. I was attracted, that he was like professional, like he was a book writer and really a professional guy. But, he could talk about worldly things and, I was able to carry conversations with him. And there was a lot that I liked about him. We liked a lot of the same, like music. There was a lot of things in common. It's not always about the looks and so it's actually, I get it, and I know people can be, but you got to understand that most of them, these guys are really taking advantage. You start to hear these things. I watch some of these couples, especially now the ones that come up on YouTube. They don't tell you everything. They don't show you everything. They're trying to make it like it's 24/7 heaven and stuff. And the more they show that, the more that's not how real marriages work. And I get they're not going to show everything. Also, the taking advantage of and all that. It happens more so here because they're taking advantage because of the poverty. And, there's that reality too. And and guys should be actually on the lookout. I'm an equal opportunity offender because our Filipinos doing the exact same thing to the guys. So we're, that's just where it is. But they've definitely to the, age gap does work. See, poor George has to sit on a wood chair. Yeah, poor me. Send Bitcoin, give me a break. Yeah, we are. Sure. Send Bitcoin. So, but Heidi makes a cushion for George's wooden chair, right? By the way, my way is fun. It's sarcasm. So I'm making jokes about other Filipinas and other expat channels that just flat out ask for the money. And here's the thing, if they're my real people, they know that. Notice I'm not getting any stickers. By the way, I get my money other ways. So what you don't know is where all the PayPal and Patreon and memberships come from. That's where we get our money, sweetie. So your time is up. Next. Oh, wait a minute. There is the stickers. See? Bite me, man. How'd I get to the bottom? Let me do it this way. Put them up. Thank you, Kay Dallas. I didn't even see it. Thanks. We'll get George a cushion for his seat. Thank you, Kay Dallas. For Georgie's poor hemorrhoids and because we are friends on Facebook. He's a good guy and funny too. He is. He's a good guy. He's a serious guy. He's fun. We really enjoy watching our shows, movies, board games, cooking. He really does a lot for the pets, and I love him because he's really a heavy duty pet lover. Like he watched that Got Talent show where they had those cats that did all the tricks, and it's like a 4-year-old video. And I said, "You haven't seen this?" And he sat there the whole time watching these cats do these acrobat things. And George is like, "Oh, them are so cute." And he says, "Oh my God." And that's what I fell in love with, was this being super sensitive and caring about the animals. And when I met him, he was taking care of a turtle, like 2 dogs, and he had 2 cats, and he had chickens and a duck, all these, and he was working overtime. And I'm like, that's why. He was hardworking, still is, and taking care of the animals. So he really is. And so just like I've told people, just like the men that feel they need to leave the West, I met George in the United States. And yes, Filipinas, I would highly recommend them as a person to date and marry for the reason that they're fun and that they're nice and that they seem to be very genuine and family oriented. And so that'd be the biggest thing that the West has lost, just call it out like it is. But remember, never forget, there's always that darkness everywhere. Like there's going to be the sun going down on something somewhere. So women could still be the same here. Men can still be the same here, and people are people no matter where they're actually at. So I might have trying to find. I'm not sure, guys, where we're at on this. You guys worry about George's rear more than his hemorrhoids. Hugh has been shown that he has a canine DNA and he doesn't like it. Yeah. I'm broke too and I earn six figures. It's awful. I want to live in the Pinas where I don't have to work like some people. And that's another thing that it's just really getting old. And I told George that and he goes, he agrees, is that it's funny. These guys get over here. They're toxic here just like they're toxic in Thailand, like the expats. And they always bragging about all their funds and all their money and how well they're doing and everything. And they make it still about the Joneses, like keeping up with the Joneses and keeping up with the next door neighbors. And nobody came here for that. Most of the Philippines, I hate to say it, structurally just isn't doing well. And nobody in here, now they're starting, George says he's noticing that it seems that, some of them are trying to keep up with each other, the new cars and, fancier clothes and look at my big party I'm having situation, but it's not like the West. But the guys come over here and they bring that stupid ass mentality with them that, hey, I'm way richer than you and I'm this and they do it in the YouTube world too. What you don't realize is I know I'm broke, so it's like these guys are always competing excessively about how much money and I've got this and I got that. You ain't taking it to your grave, dude. And where did that get you in the United States or where you're from and where's your success? Success is not money. My success is with my husband. My success is in my everyday achievements. Okay? Get over yourself with all this. I got money. I'm the one percenter. Flintstones, yabba dabba do over in Darwin and stuff. And look at me with this and look at me with that. And, success is in their relationships and family and kids. And so, and if you don't have that or your integrity or honesty, then you don't have nothing. So that's strange. What's really weird is you would have to see this like Farrah's comment, and then when Kay Dallas did a sticker on my StreamYard, they're kind of stacked on top of each other. It looks like they're almost together, guys. Wish you guys could see that. But thank you, King B. Did Tom say he never got his money back? From what I heard, Tom donated a large amount when only seeing Q giving her 10,000. No, I'm not saying that either. And actually, I'm not going to go further into the information. What I said, and I've said it in the other live streams, is that he gave us some of the receipts initially, okay, that where he did. And you guys understand I look into these things. It's not my responsibility to sit there and down to the dime say, I'm not going to sit there through Pew's stupid shit and say, hey, he only gave away this. I'm not being that petty like some other channels. It's like, oh my God, she didn't do this and didn't do, no, sorry. What I'm saying is he gave us a bunch of receipts showing that he did. I didn't say that he didn't get the money back. I'm asking, I don't know. I'm asking about Tom, if it was actually. But honestly, after today, there's nothing to say about Q. I don't care if he comes forward and says something. There's things we're going to cover and things that we're not, and it still has to be a popular topic, not one that's paying off. Okay, there's some that we've covered that hardly paid any money out. It was just an ongoing conversation and topic. Q, the only reason I'm talking about him again today is because it's the week's wrap up. After that, he's last week's news. So that's all. That's where it's going to be. Ted, for scooter rental and preparation H. Hey, George, got some preparation H money. Hey, Sarah, what is going on? What is going on, Sarah? Good morning. Big shout out to Sarah and all my ladies, all my single ladies. I'm single when I'm on the show. Hey, Sarah, did you see my Looby Loo He's got a little guitar on him. We picked him up at the mall when we was there. I have some mall footage. Is coming out.
I don't
But
have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
no.
Okay.
See how AI is eavesdropping? Hey Siri, are you eavesdropping on me?
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
Hey Siri.
Good morning.
Hey Siri. Are expats nice in the Philippines?
Okay. I found this on the web for our expats nice in the Philippines. Check it out.
Ooh, it says they're toxic. Anyways, George says the Siri's getting dumber since AI's come around. It used to answer things. It does on some of them, but that answered all on its own without me saying, "Hey Siri." They're eavesdropping like all get out. Should be called Korean Walking Street. Yeah. It just closed down. I just know that they're going to rebuild. Super new to the channel. Yeah. Me and George, we just celebrated our 6th anniversary as far as dating each other. We met about a year or so before the main pandemic, and then we decided we got married when we were together about a year and a half in, and then we went to Mexico because there was a total shutdown in the United States. So he had been running a business for almost 10 years, and it was better to leave now. And George lived in the United States. He's a Filipino citizen, for those that don't know, and just decided it'd be better to come here and start retirement now, and he can continue to work online and stuff. And so anything on social media is open for discussion. Yes, and it's her channel, our channel. She can do whatever she wants. Yeah. Yeah, because and we're aware that people talk about us and talk about, but a lot of them are just talking smack. They're just mad because I'm saying something. They're just talking smack because they're like, want to talk about something that happened to me or George or in between little stuff. And yeah, I mean, you guys can't expect me to sit here and say, okay, well, no DSWD permit and then not say something about his side antics while we're discussing them and stuff. So I'm only human to crack a few jokes here and there. But like, like Big Man, we were discussing about the way he was talking about Filipinos and everything. And then I was like, oh, but anybody notice his beard turned orange, you know? Okay, I get that part of it. And we get that it's fair game to talk about people and everything. And actually some of it's entertaining, you know? So it's all about the entertainment factor too. And that's exactly why the other channel got called Expatainment now, because it's really entertainment these days. So, Chris, Tim needs to see a dermatologist. Chrissy looks annoyed. That's usually what's going on. I could only imagine that situation. I always try. But I think the dermatology, for the most part, is because he's on them injections. I think he's a big user of those enhancement things. That's what they were saying that Mark Thornton was using. He quit certain medications and was using those, whatever. I mean, I'm on straight steroids, but they're on them enhancement things or whatever it is that they're actually. Found you when I was looking into information about Elliot Eastman. I was really glad you even had a live on an update as well. Yeah, we kept updating. And the sad part about that is we called that along the line, like we did the Range 999 thing. We did a few coverages on that Range 999. We said that, that they would do this and that, found out some information, and then it would just die down. They got him in jail, haven't heard nothing since. Dropped out of the news. The same with, we figured they'd wrap it up around Christmas time, New Year's, and it would just totally drop out. Now they're saying that the last guy they supposedly got or something was the ringmaster. Well, they already announced that, so it wasn't really any new updates, but they're never going to talk about a recovery, or that if they ever did recover, there was a bunch of misinformation, information that was omitted, and you'll never get anything out of there except for them blaming the bad guys down there. And I don't even know about that. There was something really strange going on. And then we were updated with some other additional information about them that they're saying there was some neighborhood stuff going on, like something there in the neighborhood had been going wrong. So they're saying that here's the thing. It could have been a combo. And so saying that Elliot might have been up to no good himself on different situations. Who knows? That's the chisma side of it. And then others said that it was a planned kidnapping and that he put himself in there by being on YouTube. And so really the answer was he should have left a long time ago. He should have at least went maybe into a big city or something like Cebu, or took his wife, but she was never going to go. And so he was down there trying to do the YouTube and the store, and then not have to go back to the US and work. And there were so many things that he could have done to change that, but it's very sad. Very sad. So I know a 30-year-old guy in Thailand who is at least 8'10", 6 foot tall, good income, blonde hair, Swede descent. He is still paying, $50 an hour for service. The world has changed. Yeah. Yeah. No, and there's a lot of good-looking guys. That's just it. Does anybody know the name of that channel when I say Tribe of Men? He renamed himself. Basically, he started out, we've been doing this for a couple years. He started out a year or so before us, or a year after. I know it was about the same time. And he's really grown his channel too. And I think in saying that, he was saying that it's a whole different game, guys. Even in the last year, post-pandemic just changed Asia, and it changed the world. And now these guys have the same mentality, and it's not the same. Most of them, that's what's going on, is there's so many younger guys here, and there's so many of the guys working online and the digital nomads, and there's so many guys coming here. It's kind of like I was telling you guys that I miss the days where there were real travelers. And I'm not talking about like real, we're talking about like if somebody back in the 90s or 2000s said, hey, I've been to China and I went to Greece this year, you would give a lending ear to listen to a story. But now that the internet is so flooded with the crap of people's stories and showing photos, you're like overloaded with everybody's stories. It's just like, yeah, okay, you're not impressed anymore. Just like I'm desensitized to all the stories about different things. It's like, oh, is that all you did? It is the internet mentality too. Internet mentality. But no, that is the actual truth on it. Hey, what is going on? Enjoy the weekend. I will. I'm probably going to make me like a smoothie. If I didn't tell you guys, like George was out yesterday, he came in with some like fried chicken, and they got like, this is the chicken capital, like here in Angel City. Well, it's chicken. They do a lot of chicken here in the Philippines. And he came in with this chicken company, and I said, George, that's full of salt. And he's like so innocent. He goes, there's salt in fried chicken. I said, babe, what do you think like they batter it with? Usually there's salt in it. And I said, yeah, there actually is. So we were supposed to do the I had like some salads and was going to make some smoothies, and I was going to make like tuna fish sandwiches and do these different things. It comes waltzing in with the fried chicken. And so, by the way, he had fried chicken and rice for lunch. And I said, you got that for you, right? I said, you always putting that on me. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. I said, just say it's you. Which I don't mind donuts. I'm gonna let you guys know that I'm a sugar freak, but I'm more of the sweets person, and that's where I'm in trouble. But hey, Edward, even the young guys here are doing a play to play. Yep, maybe the young guys are getting, just no more long-term relationships, and that's starting to become the world that we're in. And I kind of can't blame with all the complications and the younger generation, anybody under the age of 30, 35. It's a rough world for the guys. And I am aware of that. I'm aware. I have a son that I believe he's 34, 35 now. So I have kids in their mid 30s, and same with George. And it's just a bad dating world out there right now. So I'm aware of, Edward, It's because dating today is not as it was before. That's why a lot of good-looking guys can't even get it in Thailand or the Philippines. Guys now are shy and antisocial. They don't have social skills. And I do want to let you know that um, I still believe, which is already evident, that doing the Philippines, like coming here, is an easy way to get into relationships and everything. But I believe that online communication and interaction, I can almost bet in 10 years, most people will be stuck in their houses totally. Like there'll be so much crime and attacks and different things going on, and people just start doing their entire life at home to where so much so like that. I always talk about that movie where they actually like go out in robotic bodies and everything. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, of course, in the next 10 years. But yes, people are becoming more and more antisocial. Here in the here in the Philippines, it's actually happening. Um, 1 second here. Here in the Philippines, it's actually happening. But the Philippines is a lot like, I always say it's like the 80s, and like I keep hearing somebody. It sounds like the dog is chewing on the fence outside. That's why I'm dogs, the pets outside are a trip. So we have Willie the dog outside, and he's got like this cat. And sometimes there's a like a wire on the front of the gate, and it sounds like somebody's been pushing on the gate. But anyways, it's a lot like the 80s, but you'll see so much more interaction. But for some people coming here, it's overwhelming. Like there's tons of people in the markets and streets and all the cars, and it's an overstimulation. And so I believe some of the guys get here and it's too much. I have heard from the guys and seen the guys that don't interact after that. Like they get here, they stay in their hotels, they stay, in a small ranged area, and then that's just the way it goes. And these are guys just visiting, not living. So, but anyways, I am just breaking out. I keep looking at my wrist, breaking out. What's going on? Hello, and thanks for the program. I would like to ask you, what would be your approach if you were a black man moving to the Philippines? I'm 66 and I would like to marry Filipino. Give me some ideals. As in, have you been to the Philippines would be my question. And so if you are, I would suggest that you would come here several times and that you would take your time. So if you've never been to the Philippines and you're considering it, color wouldn't have anything to do with it. As a matter of fact, a Philippine is really open on like who she dates, internationally, race wise, and everything. But visit the Philippines first. You got to make sure you have yourself together before you start dating. And I would recommend that you wait a few months. Most guys don't adhere to that. They come in and they rush. Like there's that guy again, I'll talk about on Geo, that ended up with a woman that had 6 kids, and he didn't even know he'd already married her and everything. And they were living in the house. She had not told him the truth. So you want to get to know the culture, get to know the environment. If you look at some of our original videos, I was complaining about everything, the heat, how it irritates the skin. But I do have lupus too, so I'm super sensitive. But get to know the area you're going to be in, and if you can even adjust to the culture in the Philippines. A lot of people are like, oh, I can deal with everything. I thought so too, and it is a struggle. So adjust to the Philippines, know the area you're going to go to, and then start the dating. And people have found women online, not the best ideal, but there are legit people. In person, there's like here in Angel City, there's like a VFW, and the guys bring their wives, and sometimes there's sisters, and there's different ways of meeting the Filipinas in person. So it just depends on you, but start with getting to know the Philippines. So yeah, that's why it's scary. The guy speaks Thai well and is very outgoing, and the girls just aren't interested. Maybe they think he is a playboy. That has long been a fear of Thai women with Western men. That or their behavior, possibly. So it's I think each woman's actually a little individual how they're actually thinking. So it could be a combination. Um, you know, Western men, kind of like Western women, are known for their, us being really not really aggressive, but very forward. Same with the guy being from somewhere else. So who knows? They could be like just it's. I bet it's from all the internet videos and from I just thought about this. It could just be the abundance of guys showing up. They've got a better choice. That is what the Tribe of Men guy said. He said that there is a overabundance of the guys. So I don't know why I'm having problem with that. Let's see. I have family with the age gap. Hold on, guys. Monitor's acting up. I don't know why it's doing it. 1 second. I'm gonna have to use. Good thing I have the second one here. All right. Let's see. I have a family with age gap marriage, and it sometimes is work, but ones that have a delusional expectation or a malicious intent. Yeah. S.R. Williams, what's going on? Rock stars have, of course, a big age gap. Their relationship, Coach Bill Belichick is 72 and his girlfriend's 24. The Philippines is the sole country. No, but here's the thing: the ones that have it, that's fine, and they do use that. And I've heard him say, "Hey, so and so has one, and so has one," but it doesn't always work for everybody. You just have to make sure because the guys do find out later that there's nothing, and some of the girls do leave. Not all of them work with that big of a gap and stuff. Um, but it does happen. Most definitely, a lot of celebrities. Like there was someone I seen the other day that had a channel that had a large age gap, and he listed like 10 of the people that had an age gap, and I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't always make it right. So it was kind of lost on me on that situation. But there definitely are, and they definitely work. Ronnie, your best bet is to get Verbo. One second, guys. It's not going to work. The cats were up on the table earlier, so I think the power thing to the back of the monitor. Let's see. We'll get to know the females and choosing among them. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Mr. McGee. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Nice room. Like, please, for Miss Heidi. Thank you. Yes, I got my situation going on here. I'm sitting here sucking on George. Be sucking on him later. What's going on, Scott? Thank you. Scott and Aziza's world. George has just been sleeping and working. And that's pretty much. He sat up yesterday and he slept in till like afternoon, 1 o'clock. He goes, I was supposed to go somewhere with Scott. He goes, I need to get a hold of him. And the poor baby's just been working. So, yeah, Scott and Aziza. Hey, discerning dash Heidi. It looks like my wife and I will be a rare foreigner and Filipina couple in the Philippines. We both in our 20s, and will I get hate from older white guys and locals? So you're saying that you're both, so you're not even 30 years old. So you're both, yeah, that is really kind of highly unusual. But then again, there's a lot of foreigners. Actually, I would have to look. I know that there are couples here that are Filipina, but you are married, so no, you're not. Of course not. No, not really. There are a lot of what you don't understand is often Siargao and big cities in Manila. There's all kinds of Filipino and Western couples here, so Americans too. So it's not now if you're doing a channel or on social media or not. So no, you won't get any of the above. There was no total lockdown in the part of the US where I lived in 2020. Non-essential businesses closed, but that was it. Okay. Well, Patricia, with your hands up, showing that there was for us in Florida and there was essential businesses. And when I say total lockdown, it was to the point in Florida where we actually were, where they were restricting like businesses, everything. So, and there were for a few days. So there was, let's put it this way, there were curfews and other things. So when you say total lockdown, no, it wasn't total lockdown. So I didn't know, I'd have to break that down for you. So a lot of things were closed. We were restricted on the hours. A lot of the businesses were closed. And so that means we were locked down in the house. And so and there was only, you had to go get permits for essential workers and to go out and work. So in Florida. You said Sarah was going on and Siri jumped up. Yeah, Chrissy went to the United States by herself. Tim was acting like he sweated it. And if he had done the wrong thing, the first thing Chrissy, yeah, and how good looking immigration guy was. Yeah, was that her going there to spend time there? Somebody had said that she went there in regards to like fulfilling some of her time of being there. Ronnie Hayes, just be your sweet, charming self. Yeah, believe me, it works. Yeah, and that's another thing. But I would get to know the country and everything. I wouldn't come here and be here for 3 days and jump in if you're looking for a long-term relationship. So, but yeah, just be yourself. That definitely. Yeah, it could have been avoided. Yeah, there were so many different things going on for him. Yes, he was definitely warned. So, yes, during the time, a lot of vloggers got together during the typhoon, and um, the disaster was chaotic. I think it was more than one, more than they could handle. Still trying to mess with this monitor. It's kind of driving me nuts, and I don't understand. And there's a new table up here, and they still managed to get to everything. Still not coming back on. Yeah, because we have two systems here, and I'm having to look at the furthest monitor to look at it. Sorry, guys. She has more than that, so, but her numbers are, she's paying for advertising. There, nobody gets that. There's not one person that gets that percentage in all of YouTube. And those that are doing it long term and all of that, that's advertisement and other things going on, which good for her. She should be reinvesting beings. It's her entire life and job, and she's young. So she, of course, it's a business. We knew she was getting help. So, but there are so many of those vloggers here with way better content too. So George has said it before. He doesn't understand why the guys simp so hard. It is just the P. And so, and of course, they're like, "Oh, you're jealous." Yeah, that's me. I'm jealous. Yeah, sure, absolutely. You're right. You got me. Bam. Legion of Men. Okay, I think he changed his name, didn't he, Edward? So I think he called it Tribe of Men in the beginning. So yeah, he does a lot of the dating advice and cuts it straight through like MYK used to. Did you see the new video of Armstrong's ex flaunting money and supposedly new foreigners? I could only watch a few minutes. Their channel has become a circus. I might cover that. Me and George seen her do that where she's slapping down the what appears to be $100 bills, and because they're big stacks. So that'd be almost like, if it's an actual stack of that size, I believe that's about 10,000. I'd have to take a look again, but she's slapping a few of them down, saying it was sarcasm, and I watched the first few minutes, and then she flipped over into something that didn't appear to be so commercialized, and she then goes into something else. I think it's one to take a stab at her ex-husband, and the other part of it is she was just going to say, "Hey, that's not me." So it's clickbait. It's the way Tim K does his stuff. And so I outright would call it clickbait, but I will go in and take a look to see if she's really going on about it. I think she's just basically trying to tell people she has all the choices in the world. But it's like, in a sense like that, if anything that he said or she said about him and all that, you'd want to take precaution, in redating somebody else. She's been with several foreign men in failed relationships. You got to look at the catalyst. Who's the catalyst or what's going on in the relationship? Was it her, being she's had all the failed relationships? Could have been all bad foreigners. Who knows? So but I'll take a look. It's one that has come across what I call the desk to actually take a better look into. She came up in our feed. Gina, she's joking. There's no money from a guy. Well, because her, whatever that intro that she had went on for a few minutes, and then I got into the second part. Like I said, I cannot watch every single video. So in order to go further with it, I would have to decide, hey, I'm going to do a story, and then I have to sit there and watch a whole, whatever it's 15-minute video, because I'm not, unless I'm totally invested in doing the story about them, it's still time consuming. Okay, so it's what I was saying. I'm not sure if it was a joke or not. Manila is too much for me, Ronnie. You'll have to visit other islands and visit the locals, not Mindanao where Eastman went. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. No, and yeah, there's a lot of them, and it's just because in certain areas they don't always have them. It's nothing new now. So, yeah. About the only thing, and I know it sounds like I'm putting like, oh, look at me. It's the Western women that you're not, American Western women, but they're in the other parts. Like they go to Palawan and some of these other places, certain parts of Makati, and they're there. They are here, but that is probably the smallest part, or the, American or Western women for the other European countries is still really a small percentage. But they do come here on vacation. Some live here. And so it's starting to become, more of a trend for retirement. So I got lucky with my 2 kids, both married. They're high school sweethearts and gave me 4 grandchildren. That's really great. Yeah, we have 2 grandkids right now. So I do not like this angle. And it's not because it's a really bad angle. It's just not like straight on with the camera. And I can't read the comments. So this is for older females like me marrying young, stay safe, and do prenuptial agreements. My friend was married to a younger man in the States, divorced 20 years later, and he took half in her retirement. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of younger guys here for sure. I see the conversation going on. Good morning, Victoria. Heidi and George can't stay later. Be safe, Victoria. Okay, well, I did correct that. So I misspoke my words by saying a lockdown. When I say lockdown, there were curfews. You can't take that from me on that. There were certain times, and um, in Sarasota County and Manatee County and in the Tampa area, there were times we were not allowed to actually go out, and there were restrictions. So I misused the word lockdown, and I'm not going to repeat that again. So, but as far as the employees, no, essential workers and all that existed. We had to get a bunch of permits for that. That was extra requirements. And so that's what I'm basically saying. And I did have to live in one area or another. So to me, there were still issues. They were actually restricting where we were going. So not a total lockdown, but there were at some point, even if it was a few days. So I will disagree with that part of it. Because now that I think about it, I could not stay in Sarasota when George lived in another area. We could not go back and forth. There was something going on in the beginning where we actually couldn't. So we had made the decision to stay at the house versus staying because there was no way to go back and forth. So something happened. I'm not going to sit here and try to remember every single part of it, but for the most part, there was no, and the same with the stores and different things that were going on. Only, remember, we didn't get the vaccine or anything, so not till after we went to Mexico. There was a lot going on. You'll more likely get more from the older black men envious of your youth. Well, I don't know why it'd be black men just being envious. The usually actually it'd be about the same as the US. I don't think the guys even really pay attention. Minimally, maybe you would get an issue with maybe Filipino men seeing you young. I would say that's where it would come from, if anything, would be the Filipino men being a little envious. So, I can never tell why for me. I mean, it's because I'm an American woman that's loud and opinionated. It's other Filipinas that are like, oh my God, because I look 10 years older than George. So there's a big old white lady with a Filipina. And so you got issues. And just, there's always going to be a stare no matter where you're at, whether you're in the US or, whether there would be some sort of like animosity or, but if anything, maybe from the Filipino men where they're like, hey, but I don't think that anybody's really a Victoria. Uh, hey, what's going on? I think Armstrong's excuse is a bit on the loony side, seriously. Are you talking about the wife or Armstrong himself, like her husband? I think Armstrong's excuse dash wife is on the loony side. Gotcha. True story. Hey, what's going on, Aziza? Hey, Heidi and George. All right, guys. So this will be the end of the show today. What is going on? All right, guys. Thank you for joining us today on the live stream. So the next live stream will be Tuesday, and I appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you to all of our members and moderators that have come in today. And we will see you the next time. Look for, there might be an in-between live stream, or check out our other videos, and there'll be more videos coming out, guys. Okay? So, all right, guys. Talk to you guys later. Young Filipinos are scared of young foreigners because they know the young foreigner is the only one want good time and not a long-term relationship. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah. So, thank you. All right, guys. Saturday, I'm going to chill and watch Netflix and get cooking George some bacon. I still got bacon left. Thank you, Edward. Thank you guys for joining. Have a great weekend and stay safe, and talk to you guys later.